Kenny, we have an intro that plays.
Hi, everyone. I guess maybe we might have audio now. I'm just going to read the intro again. It's another nerdy night as my round
Oh,
table joins
God.
me, Ben, the ridiculous Riddick, sitting in the round ready room in the SSV Normandy. I've just achieved Spectre status and we are on a suicide mission. Joining me is my pilot and man with glass legs, Seth Green. I mean, Sam Chen.
Just so you know, tomorrow is Groundhog's Day, not today.
Yep. True story.
Come on.
Coming back as the Merc who cannot get enough Reaper action, Kenny Haines.
How's it going?
Before we get into the show, I just want to make sure everyone wishes our fantastic co-host a happy birthday. You may remember when my birthday was around, I took the day off. Sam has a birthday, I make him work.
Yeah, I show up.
Yeah.
I'm here for everyone. Unlike Ben.
You know, sometimes I'm just here for me.
I kind of feel like since we started like 2.0, I've been here more than you have. Just gonna point that out.
Yeah, I mean, I went on vacation. I have things to do.
Nerdy Nights takes no break.
Yeah.
Unless you're Kenny and Ben and really everyone else. So Mike's been here.
Yeah, Mike's always here. He's always in the background. The podcast this week is in beta as we discuss game demos with me, the Division beta with Sam, and the future of Destiny with Kenny. I think it's time to start the show with our newest segment that Sam so thoughtfully curates for us, and that is the news.
All right. What do we have this week? All right. So, Apple announced this week that it's currently trying to overcome technical barriers in hopes of bringing true wireless charging to the iPhone as early as 2017. Meanwhile, Samsung, LG, and Microsoft fanboys were quick to point out how long they've had wireless charging while they were trying to find the sweet spot on those stupid charging pads no one uses.
Yeah. And fans of Super Mario 3 got a special treat this week as the latest internet pet sensation went viral over social media. Tanu, an adorable raccoon dog, is reminiscent of the Tanuki suit that let Mario fly. While his current adventures mainly involve eating, sleeping, and curling up by the fire, I personally am hoping his owner buys a turtle so we can all see the hilarity that ensues.
You think if he gets attacked by the turtle, he'll turn into a plumber? That would be great. That would be great. That'd absolutely be great. Nintendo dropped a trailer this week for the upcoming Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD remake for Wii U, as they attempt to convince the gaming world that the Wii U is still relevant and that 1080p is the new 4K, or the old 4K. Wait, Ben, is the Wii U not the same thing as that thing that makes amiibos do stuff?
Does it make amiibos do stuff? Because I'm not really 100% sure of that. I thought they were just nice things that sat on my shelf.
You mean Nicky's shelf?
Yeah.
Sorry. Continue.
Watch out, Amazon Echo owners. This week's latest update pushed Alec Baldwin and Missy Elliott into your living rooms, dining rooms, and perhaps even your bathrooms. After all, who wouldn't want to wake up in the morning to Alec Baldwin whispering inspiring quotes about early birds into your ears?
You got that going, Ben?
Oh,
You
yeah.
got that going?
You know, I haven't set it up, you know?
It's not bad.
I have
In other Nintendo news, it was rumored this week that the next Super Smash Bros. Is rumored to launch with the upcoming Nintendo NX. Honestly, I think the only way I'll ever buy another Nintendo console is if they sell a limited edition Smash Bros. Game that comes with Mario Kart minigame and a free console upon purchase.
Dude, why so much hate for that Nintendo? I love the little thing.
Hey, they got to bring me something better than just the first party games that I know I'll love, but not enough to purchase a console for.
You know, I just find it to be the little console that could.
Just go to Ben's house.
Longtime Nerdy Nights contributor Brant Range brought us news this week of Amazon's disappointing earnings. As Wall Street pummeled the tech giant into a 10% losses in one day. For anyone doing the math at home, that means Jeff Bezos lost $6 billion. That's billion with a B, like Ben, who is your favorite host on this show, in a single day, making him one of the few people who can say to the recent $1.5 billion lottery winners, I've lost more money than you'll ever make.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. You know, here's the thing. He lost it. I want to go out and find it.
Hey, it's probably out there somewhere. It's probably out there somewhere.
It's gotta be.
ESPN and Blizzard are teaming up to stream and broadcast the second annual Heroes of the Dorm contest, which promises full tuition for the winning team of Heroes of the Storm tournament. I'm not sure what's better about this. The fact that esports is going to get some primetime coverage on ESPN2, or the fact that a ton of millennials living in their parents' basements during college can truthfully say, I am studying.
Sorry.
You don't live in your parents' basement, man. It's okay.
Apple is reported to have not made as much progress on their car as they were hoping, so they've turned into forming a secret team that's dedicated to working on AR and VR hardware. I'm not sure why I didn't realize it earlier. All I really had to do to convince Sam that VR would be successful is to just say Apple and Kojima 10 times in rapid succession. That is a stupid word. I'm just going to throw that out there. Succession.
Secession.
Okay.
Yeah, Apple Kojima. Okay, I'm done. And in fashion news. Yep, fashion news. Fashion Week starts next week. I know what I'm talking about. Not really. Anyways, in fashion news, Louis Vuitton's hot new spring collection has been modeled by none other than Final Fantasy XIII's Lightning. I'm not sure if this is Square Enix's next move to put product placement in video games, or if it's Louis Vuitton's plan to get girls to play video games. But I am sure that Anita Sarkeesian will have a strong opinion about this that Ben will continue to ignore. Don't you love her, Ben?
You know, she's just so great. So great. And finally, Tesla announced this week that it would announce new car developments in March. Most believe it will be about their Model 3, which is their $35,000 consumer-friendly car, and possible details about the Model Y. For those playing along at home, this means that Tesla will have a Model S, 3, X, and Y. Yep, Tesla's models will literally spell out sexy.
It is quite sexy. I want a Tesla.
You know, Sam, I think I really need to start reading these at a time. Anyways, you know, remember back in the day when we had this segment called Active Quests, where we would talk about things that we were doing over the week? And I think we need to go to that, because right now I'm just about to lose it over everything I just read. Kenny, what fun things have you been up to lately? What nerdy things has your life doing?
Work. Nothing. Absolutely nothing, unfortunately.
That's not true. You introduced me to a new iOS game that I have not been able to stop
that
playing.
is true. That I was playing while working.
Yep, same
What
here.
do I need to download?
Evil apples, Sam. Evil apples.
What is that about?
Evil Apples is
Cards Against Humanity.
yeah, Cards Against Humanity. It's an app that somebody else made that you can play with anybody you want on your phone. Your friends. It has a random mode. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. You can leave games just sitting there for a little while.
What was that?
Ben, is that what you guys were playing the other night when we were doing Division?
Yes, that is what we were playing the other night when we were doing Division.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool game.
Yeah. I really like it. I got Lee into it also. So we've got a game with our producer Mike, Kenny, myself, and my wife, and I did
Sam out of it.
You know, Sam, maybe you can join the next game.
Maybe.
If you're good.
It's okay. I'll replace Ben.
Sam, how about you? What is your active quest?
Not to put a damper on the situation, but yes, it is my birthday, and yes, I turned 30 today. So before, every year I just felt older. This year I just feel old.
Oh, that's not true, Sam. You're not really old until you hit like 31.
You mean like
32.
This is age?
Yeah, another year.
This is older than 31. Serves you right for not being on the show, Chris.
Yep, I agree. Chris is old. Confirmed. NK Radio. Chris is old.
Birthday present, Sam gets to join games. I like the way you think, recruit. I like the way you think.
Yeah.
So no, I will say the one thing that I have been obsessed with this weekend was I got turned on to a Chrome plugin called Sorted, which basically makes your Gmail inbox into Trello.
Oh, I saw that.
Which is fucking amazing.
You were tweeting about it, and I immediately downloaded it, and have also been using it.
It's great. I mean, my only real complaint is that there's not like a theme that turns it dark, and so it's just whiteness on my screen. But it's been so handy. I'm at inbox 0. Be jealous.
Yeah.
Be jealous. All right, Ben, what have you been up to? Other than not reading my news.
You know, I just don't appreciate the hard work that you put into things, Sam.
Clearly not.
That is what I have been doing, not appreciating Sam. No, actually, I
said this last week, Ben, not, since the dawn of time.
No, the only thing that I've really been doing that is on the nerdy side of things is playing some PS4. I've been working on some more platinums. Started up Borderlands again. Am about to finish Game of Thrones. And it's a fun game. It's actually fun to not play Destiny all the time.
You mean the same way everyone feels?
What's not Destiny?
I was thinking the same thing. Kenny,
apparently work
for the longest time.
Yeah, pretty much.
But no, it's been pretty fun. The other thing I've been doing, is playing the Division beta. But I think let's get into our first topic. Our first topic is my own topic. I kind of want to discuss, in light of the Division beta coming out, betas and demos. Something that's always bothered me about betas and demos for video games is that demos seem to always just cherry pick the best parts of a game and kind of throw that at you. I mean, obviously they're trying to sell a game, so I understand that that's what they're doing, but a demo has never really been my best way of saying, hey, this is a game that I want to be playing. So I've been burned by demos, and I don't like being burned by demos. And then my issue with betas, it's the same kind of thing. They cherry pick this one specific thing about a game to show you, but even more so are games that seem like they're in infinite beta. Like there are a lot of what is the Steam thing called? Early access games where you play an alpha build for like 5 years and then it finally comes out. So I mean, with all of this said, I kind of wanted to hear what you guys thought, especially in the vein of like the Division beta that came out is beta, but it's 2 months from release of the game.
Yeah.
It's like 6 weeks from the release of the game.
And I think that's a problem. Like, I can't say anything to the Division because I haven't played it, but any other beta that I feel like I've played in the last 2 years, it's not a beta. They call it a beta, but it's not. Because a beta is something to test and to improve upon. And in the last 2 years, especially with big name games, all the betas, Destiny, like these betas have not been improved upon. You buy the game and it's the same as the beta. Whereas when I'm testing a game out, which is what a beta is supposed to be, I see, okay, well, this is cool, but this has some lag time. And I'm assuming that either other people are also doing that, some people are giving input, or even the company's looking for that input. And I don't think that's the case anymore. I think a beta is more of a marketing tool at this point. It's a way to say, hey, play our free 15 minutes. We're going to call it a test, but we're not going to improve upon it, but you can play it. I mean, hook you in.
I absolutely agree with that. It's a way to
access to the Division beta was you pre-order it, you get access.
Exactly.
And maybe we'll give it to you via some other channels, but mainly if you pre-order it, we'll get access.
Yeah,
so
but I mean,
it's super like marketing strategy that's free.
Yeah. Well, it can be free easily. I mean, anybody can figure out, I'm going to pre-order a game, get the beta, and then
I mean, free for the company,
pre-order.
not like obviously it's free for us.
Yeah.
But I
Oh,
mean, like
yeah.
the company's
Yeah.
not paying like a big marketing blitz. People are going
No.
to write about it because it is like playable beta.
Yep.
And instead of just like getting your shit together, it's been about this. I mean, like I'll say this, and to your point, Ben, about like betas versus demos. Like what I really liked, even though the game is canceled, was was the playable trailer for Silent Hills. Did you get that when it first came out?
I did. I did get that when it first came out, and that is, I agree. I think that was something that was great, and I wanted to see more. I wanted to see more games do that kind of thing. It's like, let's not just show you pretty, CGI cutscenes and all this out of engine footage. Let's just give you the engine of a similar style of what we're making is, and see and have you decide that if that's what you want.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it didn't work for PT, but or Silent Hills.
Well, it worked because the hype was there. It just didn't.
Yeah.
There were other issues.
And I think that is one of the best things that has come out in the last couple of years as far as betas and demos go. I mean, I was reading the chat, and Mike was saying in the chat, they just essentially what they like to do is they call stress tests for servers betas now. Because when you think of it this way, The Division, Destiny, those games came out, there wasn't any changing the game at the point they were at. But there was tweaking to servers that they could do. And in the case of Destiny, I still get pissed off with the fact that they don't have dedicated servers. And, with The Division, there were definitely some things that we'll talk about later in the show that I ran into that were worrisome. So I feel like you're absolutely right in the sense that it's let's drive up pre-orders by offering this beta to people who pre-order.
So I will bring up another point that kind of came up when I was researching this topic, but there was a decently written article about how this has become almost like an unfair advantage in the realm of esports. And what they're really picking on is like companies like Blizzard, specifically with like Hearthstone, and hopefully not with Overwatch, but they've talked about people doing like tournaments in their beta environment. Blizzard, I think, is more closed off than the Division was about their betas. But they also talk about how like it seems like people who were content producing in the beta are the ones who are still like basically making tons of money off it now. And that extra jump start just makes it difficult for everyone else to kind of like play on even grounds. Like, do you think that's a legitimate concern? Or do you think that's just those Blizzard games?
No,
Go. No, please, Kenny, go ahead. You're probably going to say something much more intelligent than me.
No, I guess you can say that, but I mean, equivocate that to anything else sports or anything else that, oh, well, this person started before me, so I guess I'll never be better. I'll never be able to get. I don't think that's an argument. It makes sense that the people start with it tend to be top competitors because those people are probably in that business. They're probably in other competitions as well. So they probably focus on every game they can get their hands on as early as possible. That's more likely what they're using it for. But I don't think it correlates to the first people that start playing the game are the people that have an unfair advantage in tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of the argument was content too. Like, I definitely agree that playing it early by a week it doesn't ensure your skill is there. But I think it does kind of cement you as either like a streamer or a content producer on YouTube.
Yeah, I was about to say I feel like it's less of an advantage for the like competitive esports players and more of an advantage for the streamers. Because if you think about it this way, like the streamers that were out and playing the Division this last weekend, and already kind of talking about it, they have cemented an audience in the Division today, 6 weeks before release of the game.
I mean, I guess I can also see that point, but then again, like look at any conference like E3 that only like reporters are invited to certain areas. But how did they get there? Why can't anyone just walk into certain things like that? So you need to become a reporter. You start that by working with smaller things. You get a ground and a base that you've built upon, and then once you have enough market share, you get into those events. Just like if you want to be a content producer or stream this game, then get into the beta. It's not impossible. Like some games you might have a tougher time getting into. Start on another game. There won't be just one game that you're fixated on that you want to create content for. I mean, yeah, it's not open to anybody, but I mean, those people that are creating those are doing it for a business. And what in business is open for anybody to start up and just start doing whatever they want? It normally isn't. You got to work your way up. You've got to learn the trade. So it is.
And I think Recruit kind of is echoing our thoughts in the chat. He's saying, I think it's people who play the longest would be the best, not necessarily the first. So, I mean, I think we're hitting a pretty mellow part in this argument, because there's really
Yeah.
Well,
Man.
I mean, but I'll say this to Recruit's point. Like, if it's about the longest, then the guys who are in the beta, who are producing for it, who are getting true early access, not just like fake early access, the way we're doing with Division right now, they are going to play longer. Now, I'll say there's probably not going to be an esports arena built around the Division, but for Overwatch there could be, and so I think there is some concern. Like, personally, I don't care. Like, that's not a world I'm ever going to live in, but I can understand that people who do want to play those games competitively might see that as a disadvantage. And it's interesting because, like, in the world of like Magic the Gathering, people who dev for the game are not allowed to play. Just period. They cannot competitively play any game because they're helping develop the game itself. And I think, like, if betas live up to what they're really supposed to do, which is helping you develop the game, then it kind of is an unfair advantage, at least for a little bit. I guess over years it probably balances out, but I mean that's kind of my view on it, as far as where it could and might kind of be slightly disfavorable to your average Joe player.
Mm-hmm. I want to shift gears a little bit. I want to talk about demos, because something about demos has just, they've gone away. They've been replaced by betas, and I mean, I think one of the things I miss the most about this in this generation, back on the PS3 as a PlayStation Plus subscriber, there were a bunch of games that you could download the full game for, and PlayStation Plus allowed you to play a total of 2 hours on that game and then lock you out of it. Okay? I thought that was easily one of the best demo formats that I've seen in a long time, just for the sheer fact that you could play the actual game, your progress was saved, so then you could just go into the PlayStation Store, buy the game, your save is there, the download is there, it just unlocks past those 2 hours, and you just keep playing. I thought that was like one of the best things that Sony did with PlayStation Plus, and things like that have just gone away now. So I'm curious what you guys think. The only place I'm being told that they still do that, but I don't see that. I don't see that on PlayStation 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'd probably do it on Steam and things like that, right?
I'm sorry, say that one more time?
I'm assuming they do similar things on Steam or PC platforms, maybe? I have a Mac. I don't really play anything on Steam except for...
I think they do. I mean, I haven't tried or looked at it in a while, but I think they still do stuff like that. I don't know why it hasn't become more popular. I mean, again, like think of marketing. Like if I play a game for 2 hours, I'm gonna know if I want to buy it or not. And whereas, I mean, I could see as a company going, I don't want a person to find that out. I
That's
want them to I want them to buy my game before they find out they don't like it. Like I mean, so but I'm not saying that's the reason why they don't do it more often, but I can see that that could be a factor, and maybe that's why there aren't as many demos.
Okay, so I'm looking on the PlayStation Store right now. There are 2 PS4 full game demos that you can download. One of them is Disgaea 5: Alliance of Vengeance, and the other is Kung Fu Panda: Showdown of Legendary Legends.
Ah shit!
Yeah.
I'm playing that after this.
So, but like on PS3, they had like big AAA titles. Like Killzone was one of them. There were games that were big games that you could do that with, and you just don't see that anymore. And now I see a lot of demos on the Vita. Like when I play through the Vita, I do actually look through the demos there. But I just feel like the demos for the games that I want to demo before buying aren't there anymore. And
so, okay, how much do you think is that supplanted by something like Redbox?
I mean, I guess, but I don't want to have to leave the house. Like that's the big thing that I've liked about demos is that I can just download a demo and play through that.
Well, but that's kind of my point. Is like, yes, I agree. It is not the easiest thing in the world for you to do because it means you have to go out. But
Oh, Jesus.
but I mean, like, we're in a world where that's a viable option, where the secondary market is probably a little bit bigger than it was before. I'm not gonna say a lot bigger, just because GameStop hasn't changed its fundamental business strategy in the last couple of years. But I just feel like what PlayStation tried to do, but has not successfully executed on in the demo phase, what is like the couch co-op and the game sharing that they were trying to do, right? Because that was one of the ideas. I buy the game, I can play with my friend Ben for a certain amount or a certain part of the game. They just haven't. I don't think they've executed on that. And personally, I wouldn't mind it if I saw more of that than pure like let me play 2-hour demos.
I mean, I can agree with that. I mean, I've completely forgotten about that. Like you said that, I was
Exactly.
like, oh yeah, didn't they say they were gonna do that like a year and a half ago?
Yeah.
It was a year and a half ago, right? It wasn't this past E3. It was 2014, right?
Oh yeah.
It's been a while. I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I just think betas or not betas, but demos in general probably like just not marketly viable. I mean, they probably didn't make any more money, and why do something extra? I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it doesn't suck, but I mean, I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I mean, so I'll tell you, Sam, real quickly, my issue with Redbox. It's with the PlayStation demos and things like that, it all goes back to trophies. I don't want to try a game out for a couple of days, have 2 trophies on the game, decide that I don't like it, and send it back.
Oh, well, then in that context, Kenny's version of their strategy is perfect.
Yeah,
They're just hosing you. That's great. That's a great business strategy.
it's
Sorry,
only
Ben.
because of Ben. Like they figured out this really niche market where this one guy really wants to platinum every game he plays. We're gonna make a fortune.
You know what? I'm not the only one. And you know
No,
what?
but see, the difference is Recruit would do it in 2 hours. I'm kidding.
But you know
I'm
what?
kidding.
Recruit does make a good point. Redbox does not have a large library. It's really only the super mainstream games.
No, that's true.
But those were the ones you were talking about demo wise.
Dude, no one wants to do GameFly.
Nobody
Is GameFly even still a thing?
Let's hope not.
Anyways, I think it's time for this topic to kind of come out of beta and go into full production. My question:
Which means you're going to get the same exact thing that we.
Sorry, that's so good.
My question for the viewers, for the chat and the website: comment and let us know if you think betas and demos are useful for making purchase decisions. I want to hear about what you have to say on those topics. And topic number 2 comes from Sam as we join the division to bring order back to New York City. Sam, tell us about your topic.
Division beta. It happened. It's still happening until like tonight or tomorrow at like 6 a.m. Pacific or something like that.
Are we going to play more of that after the show?
We could.
But
we
I
could.
can't.
It does.
Okay, then maybe we'll play some Destiny after the show. Who knows?
Oh, I'm out. Sorry.
Star Wars.
I don't know. So like long story short, we got the Division beta. Roughly 72 hours. It's going to be a little bit longer now. More if you had an Xbox One. We got basically like a small zone of New York to play in. We got one mission, aka strike in Destiny terms, and then we have access to a limited portion of the Dark Zone, which is kind of the group up PvP, kind of still PvE, kind of end game content, sort of.
Maybe. Who knows?
Because who knows? The level cap was 8, which wasn't hard to get to. The level cap in the Dark Zone was 12, which also wasn't hard to get to. I played it. I had a ton of fun. Some people didn't think that. What did you guys think? And by you guys, I just mean Ben.
I thought it was the best game I've ever played.
Well, I mean, Kenny, did you read anything about it? Did you see anything?
No, I literally I barely had enough time to sleep this past week.
But give us some background. This is a game that you're legitimately excited about. You've been talking about this game since they announced it.
I guess I'm not hyped on it. I'm interested to see what they do. I think I'm just so jaded with games that are supposed to be open world, that are multiplayer. Like I don't know. I played World of Warcraft a while back. I loved that game. I can't play it anymore. It takes up too much time. But I just wish there was a game on a console like that, and I don't see anything being created anytime soon like it. So it is what it is, and I'll find out when I buy it, because I am going to buy it. But
we already bought it, Kenny.
You already bought it.
That's right. That's right.
It's been bought-in, because that's
it has been charged.
So for me,
Ben, what let's start this way. What worked for you, Ben? What did you like about the beta?
I liked playing with friends of mine. It was it was fun being able to sit down. I mean, Sam, you, Mike, and I got into the Division together, and we played a lot of it. We grinded ourselves up to level 8, went into the Darkness Zone, and I thought one of the things that was neat was there were times where all 3 of us were in completely different places in New York, doing completely different things, but we could still meet up and do the same thing without loading into anything or anything like that. So I thought that was...
The game did feel very seamless from like a loading and movement standpoint. I mean, there's that fast travel mechanic, and it does take some load time. It just never felt that bad.
I don't know. Sometimes I was fast traveling and it felt like it took forever. But that could also be because I would hit fast travel and then sit there and wait for me to finish fast traveling, and then realize that a tiny little caption came up that said, "Do you want to confirm fast travel?" I'm like, well, shit. That needs to be something they fix in the regular game. Like, that needs to be a big alert.
It's not going to be. They're going to make it even smaller.
But, I mean, I do agree with some of the other things. The load times didn't take that long, and I honestly believe that's because the game didn't look that great. From a graphical standpoint.
So it's interesting because, like, obviously you and I have talked about this, and I kind of went on the interwebs and tried to look at all these different things. And I'll say, there are plenty of people out there, and I say plenty because I haven't really found an article that knocks the appearance, but there are a lot of people who were like, this looked amazing. Like, it didn't look as good as what they were showing us before because we were looking at like PC versions of the game.
Which I completely understand when looking at stuff like that.
Yeah, but even then, they thought it looked really good, and I think like you and I can both agree that the UI was amazing.
The UI was good.
The graphical user interface was amazing. Like the game itself, I thought looked really good. I know where some of your concerns are, but like I wonder if you're in a sense a minority opinion, and not in a bad way.
I mean,
like, I wonder if that's part of it.
I go into this knowing full well that my opinion is in the minority, and that is why my opinion. That's kind of why my opinion is what it is, because Ubisoft makes games that make a lot of promises that fail to meet those promises, and I'm just trying to remind everyone out there, this is an Ubisoft game. You know, and it's... I had some legitimate fun times playing the game, but it didn't feel great. It didn't feel like the Destiny killer that everyone is, you know, hyping it up to be. I think Destiny itself is becoming the Destiny killer. But, you know, I feel that the hype for the game is slightly unfounded, given the publisher's background as of late. And from a graphical standpoint, Ubisoft has made much more beautiful games. I mean, even, what was that stupid open world car game? The Crew. The Crew looked good.
So
Played like shit, but looked good.
An interesting point, since Recruit brought up the possibility of sponsorship in the context of the review I read. That same article made a really interesting point about how they wonder if, from a graphical standpoint and even a content standpoint, if Ubisoft is handcuffing themselves by trying to base it so much on reality. Like, the world and the realm that they're going to create with Division is going to be so based on reality that maybe they just can't get out of their own heads to come up with other things or new things or different things. I don't know. What, do you think there's validity to that?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, the validity to that is, it's like that might be why there are so few encounters. The area that we're trying to cover is so large that, and, you know, in reality, how are you going to run into that many people running on the street? But, and I think you made a good point while we were playing the other night of, you know, I think one of my big issues is I can look at something and say, I know what this is supposed to look like because this is a real thing. And then you compared it to something like Destiny, where it's like, you can look at it and say, yeah, that looks great, but I don't know what this is like. I don't have context.
I don't know what a sparrow is really supposed to look like.
Right. So, you know, it's I can kind of agree with you on that sense, but I mean, they should be trying harder.
I mean, I think in general everyone is too hyped up on graphics. I really think I think this game in particular, I'm not necessarily talking and speaking about this game, might not meet your expectations, but they're trying, and I think the amount of effort they're putting into trying to make graphics better and better every year is taking away from development and actual gameplay. And I think we're starting to get away from that. Because, I mean, look at some of the best games out there that are structured like this one. Again, I'm going to bring up World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
Graphically, how do you speak about that game graphically? Like, I mean, I guess it looks okay. I mean, a lot of people say, oh, the graphics are great, but I don't care about them. I don't care because the gameplay is amazing.
See, now you bring up a good point. The gameplay is amazing. Amazing is the word that you are using. When I play The Division, I come out of the game thinking, meh.
Yes, and I understand that, but what I'm trying to say is they might have failed your expectations on this game graphically, but that doesn't mean that they didn't put most of their efforts into the graphics. It doesn't mean that more effort went into trying to develop these graphics than the gameplay. Whereas maybe the graphics they could have spent a little less time on and worked a little bit more on gameplay. The graphics wouldn't be great,
fair.
but you'd still be playing a great game.
I appreciate Kenny's point that it's all Ben's fault.
Yep.
I really do.
Yeah, it's all Ben's
No,
fault.
I think that's a good point, and I think even when you talk about the gameplay, and I know our last topic of the night is Destiny, so I don't want to go too far into it, but I feel like Destiny as a game has created unrealistic expectations for all future AAA titles of a certain nature, Division included. Like, some of the stuff that we loved about Destiny will never be recreated by the Division. It will never be recreated by Bungie ever again, because some of it was just like lucky coincidence.
Well, and the fact that Destiny has still the most money ever to have gone into production of a game.
No, but that's what I'm saying is
plus.
Even if they spent. That's not all that development dollars.
Yes, I know.
Okay.
I know.
I mean, but what I'm saying is, even if you took another game and developed it with the same level of rigor that you did with Destiny, I don't know if you will ever live up to the hype. I don't know if it can. I don't know if it can. Until like they just create like a real world version of everything, and then you're just VR Division, and when you get shot, you die in real life. Wait, that kind of sucks.
Wait, that sounds like a movie premise from the early 2000s, late 90s. What?
Yeah. Sounds like something Gerard Butler would really jump into.
Yeah. All right. Well, since I know we have limits on time, Ben, what are the recommendations that you think you would really hope Ubisoft takes away, knowing that this game will come out, it'll have day one patches, it'll do all that other stuff. People will buy it. People will play it. What do you think they could improve?
I swear to God, if the first thing on the patch, like the patch notes, is not change the size of the fast travel icon. No. In reality, though, I think. I mean, Recruit brought up a good point a lot. There are definite issues with the game as far as like how it ran. A lot of the time, like it happened multiple times when I went into the darkness zone, where I would come out of a room and I would be invisible to everyone around me, which seems like it would be all fine and dandy until all of a sudden you're being killed by something that is also invisible to you.
Which I think is a beta fault, to be completely honest. That sounds like a bug.
That sounds like a bug, yes. My concern is the game is less than 2 months away. That seems like a pretty big bug and pretty game-breaking, in my opinion. And then the other thing is, and this I feel could be fixed. I mean, let me throw out there that I've never made a game before in my life, so I don't know how easy or hard any of these things are to do. But one of the things that happened a lot is I would shoot something, and then it would feel like 5 seconds later it would show the health drop off.
Oh, I didn't really have that happen.
So I had that happen a lot, especially
in the dark zone.
No, I mean in the dark zone too, but I noticed it the most the last time I played the hospital mission in the beta. It could have been better. Oh, by the way, Alex O'Neill says that he brought you good times in Evolve, and he would still play it with you if you played it.
Yay! It's still on my PS4.
So that would be my thing. I mean, Sam, what do you think? What things would you fix about it.
I mean, I think gamers, Reddit, everywhere have identified a good number of like quality of life things, right? Your fast travel one's a good example. Switching to the sidearm being like hold triangle instead of double tap triangle is a good thing. I think I don't know if I have a lot of things that I think would drastically improve the game that wasn't like a quality of life issue. I think I would really like to know if in the future the dark zone becomes one of these things where like you can't go in it alone. Like when you think about how skewed teams can be instead of like a 3-person fire team to a 4-person anything, I think that's my biggest concern is that this game is great for someone like me who's not a huge PvP fan, right? Mm-hmm. And I think like the context of the PvP in the Dark Zone is not as intense as PvP is in Destiny, right? Yeah. It's a little bit more like the real game because it's a cover shooter than it is about like skills with twitching.
It is a lot of mind games, let's be honest.
Yeah, no, that's true too. And I think that
it's like you're here at an extraction with another group of 4 people, and you guys are both just kind of
yeah. And so to be honest, like I look at it and I think
I'm going to shoot you.
I look at it and think like maybe you get to the point where like because you know you have to enter the Dark Zone with 4 people, like that's the new like LFG. Mm-hmm. Is that you're not going to ever go in alone. You're going to find friends. You're going to get other friends. You know, you're gonna run through it that way. So I think the thing I would like it to improve is to figure out how that's going to work. But I think it's one of those byproducts where you just have to see how the game is going to evolve once it's launched. So, but I mean, right now I feel like I'm going to get plenty of story content. The story seems pretty decent to me, and I think this is like a tuned down version of. If this came out as a $60 tuned down version of Gears of War, I don't think I would be super unhappy. I would feel like the hype train has left me far, far behind. But I think I would be okay with that. And I think that's kind of my takeaway from all of the discussions we've had is like I'm going to be satisfied with this game, I think. Will it be the next Destiny for me? Probably not. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I hope so. Probably not. But I think I'm going to get my $60 worth of value.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess that's really all that matters when you look at it that way.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed Unity.
Let's, as we end our journey we begin our journey into a dark zone, my question for the chat and the comments on the website is this. What the hell did you think of the Division beta? What could they do better? Let us know in the chat, in the comments.
They could have forced Kenny to play.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to play.
Yeah, no, he did want to play. He was very upset when I told him when the beta was. So, topic number 3 is brought to you by Kenny, but we kind of all forced this topic onto Kenny.
Yay!
So we're gonna be honest here. We're gonna discuss a game that most of us really have played more than we care to admit, especially me. The destiny of Destiny is cloudy, but let's see where it might go. Sam, you had really a lot to say about this topic, and I kind of want to pass the torch to you to kind of begin leading the topic.
Okay. Destiny.
Good job.
No, I think, you know, in this last week, and I didn't put any of this in the news because I knew we were going to talk about it, you know, there's a couple things that came out, and I wonder if this is a sign of the end of times of Destiny. So one, Destiny 2 is delayed. It's been postponed. It was supposed to come out September this year. We don't have a date, I believe. I don't think we have a date. Kind of alongside that, in coincidental and maybe not coincidental timing, was the fact that the Bungie chief also stepped down. So I don't remember his name, but we now have a new person at the head of the Bungie ship, who, of course, is going to be primarily focused on making Destiny successful and continuing the success of Destiny. And so I guess the first question becomes, like, do you think they're kind of chasing this unicorn now? Like, kind of the question I asked in the last set. Like, do you think Destiny 2 could ever be as successful as Destiny 1? Will any game be that successful?
I think the Destiny line has already sunk in its fan base. I think at this point, it's kind of like when Star Wars just came out. Where I'm saying, I mean, I love the movie, but let's be honest, who was not going to see that movie? There aren't a lot of people that were not going to see that movie.
That's fair.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be the same thing with Destiny 2. It's kind of like, yeah, I guess, give it to me. Sure. All right, I'll take it. I'm not doing anything else right now. Yeah, I'll play it. Like, I just think, I think it's too late. They've put out too much content, and although they've done horrible things story-wise over their whole year and a half, 2 years of existence,
I thought
people still want to know more. Like, that's the thing.
Let's be honest. They did a fantastic job with Taken King.
And that's why I said overall, from start to end, like they've done a poor job at managing that story. We only got a lot of it at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think because of that, people still want to know more. And I think no matter no matter how long they delay it, it's still going to make bundles of money.
Yeah.
But
go ahead, Sam.
Well, I was going to say, bundles of money, I agree with. As successful at Destiny 1?
I don't think anyone's ever going to get swindled like that again, or at least for a long time.
Okay.
Because again, in the beginning of it, it was promised to be a lot more than it was. So I think that's what drove the sales that it got to begin with. They promised a lot more than it actually was. So, yeah, it's true what you're saying, that another game's probably not going to be like Destiny again, but that's probably partly because the community has learned its lesson.
All right. Ben, what were you going to say?
I mean, to Kenny's point, I think it was promised a lot to people in the know. I think the casual audience, they're just seeing commercials of CG sparrows and jumping and supers and things like that. And they're like, oh yeah, I'll play that. But do I think Destiny 2 is going to do as well as Destiny 1? No. But I think that's going to be true with any new IP. I feel like, well, maybe not. But I feel like a game like Destiny, you're going to get a bunch of people to go buy the first game and try it out, and there's going to be the people that latch onto it. Like me, I've put over 1,200 hours into Destiny.
I would never admit that, Ben.
And that's just on the PS4. It's not counting my Xbox Destiny account. So I will definitely be getting Destiny 2. And I definitely foresee myself putting a lot of time and energy into Destiny 2. But I think I think Destiny needs to really work on kind of spreading out their content to where it does keep the game exciting to play more over a longer amount of time.
Yeah, I mean, like we're getting this lull now, right? And I think some of it is, I want to say some of it can be easily fixed as make old content relevant for gaming. Like, I mean, here's the thing. I think the biggest realization I had, because over the holidays we did get new friends who got PS4s for the first time and things like that. Their experience with Destiny, or got it with the Taken King, was so much different than our experience with it.
Absolutely, 100%.
And it's almost like this sunk cost fallacy sort of thing, right? Like, we play it because we've played so much. But like, if you were the average consumer picking it up for the first time this year in September with the Taken King, I don't know if you would have felt this way. Like, I think you would have felt the same level of disappointment that some people are feeling about the Division after the beta. It's like, man, my friend Ben said this was great. Now I've played this for like a month. Yep. You know, like, and I think that's the thing that, like, I'm trying to say, like, all right, I don't want to have that experience with Destiny 2. And so, one, I want to level set the expectations. But two, I hope Bungie is realizing that, like, for this to continue to be super successful, they're going to need people to want to play over and over again like they did with the first one. And that means either better content, better game modes, better story. It means that you got to step up their game. Yeah. Or figure something else out.
I don't know if you're going to get that. I mean,
I agree.
If people keep jumping ship over there, that's kind of indicators that, I mean, somebody that is in that position, that is in charge of everything, they leave for a better job, and that is it. So if they're leaving and not taking a better job somewhere else, there's something going on, something major. So, we'll see.
Yeah.
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 No, I agree. I mean, like, Ben, what do you think? Like, what? I know you love the game. I know you're going to continue to love the game.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing for me to do. Even like Iron Banner was going on this whole week, and I kept thinking, oh, you know, I'll jump on Iron Banner for a bit, and I've played some, but it's like over the last month since I've been playing a bunch of games to get platinum trophies, and you know, I've just been working on other games. I'm not upset that I'm not playing Destiny. I'm not upset that there's no content in Destiny, because Destiny has made me miss a lot of games. But they are going to need to do more in order to keep the commitment of the kind of gamers that play the game. But I will say this, at least when I'm running around the world, I run into people. And the other thing, you know...
Okay, Ben.
The other thing that I like, that I do enjoy about Destiny is it is a game, and I've mentioned this before, it's a game that I can easily I want to do something, but, you know, there's no one to play games with right now. And I don't necessarily want to do something I don't want to pay attention to a really big story. Okay, let's pop into Destiny and let's patrol the Dreadnought for a bit and just kill things, do some stuff there. It's a mindless activity, is what I'm getting at there.
Well, you've sold me on Destiny 2. Mindless ability away.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Yay.
But I mean, that's also not what I'm gonna try to do. If we're honest, when Destiny 2 starts getting announced, I'll probably be saying the same things about it that I'm saying about the Division. It's like, dude, be careful, because remember how much Destiny 1 sucked in the beginning. Or certain aspects of Destiny 1 sucked in the beginning. Obviously, it didn't suck enough for me to stop playing it. But, you know,
just like crack doesn't suck enough for you to stop. Oh, okay. Wait,
That's
what?
Right.
And, you know, it all comes down to what content are we going to get before Destiny 2. How are they going to prove that their little addition of microtransactions is paying off? Like,
I don't think we're going to see that.
Like, they have this Valentine's Day event coming up, the week of Valentine's Day. But I was expecting, because they made it sound like we were going to get, like, actual content, like Dark Below, House of Wolves level content.
Nope.
And that's just not happening, and they're just like completely radio silent about it. I mean, and I don't
threw our money at the screen.
Yeah.
And then they went away.
Yep. So that's kind of, I will always advocate for Destiny because I love playing the game, and I want to justify the 1,200 hours that I've put into it.
By playing even more.
By playing even more.
By playing so many more hours that you can no longer justify it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to put it really quickly. When Triple Rect is saying that this game is kind of sucked now, when one of your biggest supporters is poo-pooing the game, you got to rethink things.
Well, I mean, all of the major Twitch streamers that I watch that play Destiny, I mean, I don't watch it for Destiny anymore. I watch it because I like the streamers. It's like King Gathalion, Professor Broman, and Triple Rect. They're all saying the same things about Destiny right now. It's like, dude, the game is great. I play it because, the community that comes to watch me play it is great. But goddamn, they need some more content, or I'm going to be taking my streamers elsewhere. So yeah, I agree with you, Sam. Kenny, do you have any final thoughts on Destiny and Destiny 2 before we wrap up the show?
I don't know. I just feel so jaded at this point. Whatever, I'm at the point where whatever anything's gonna be, it's gonna be, and I'm gonna be disappointed either way. I don't know what else to say about that. We all know. We all want it to be so good, and we all know it's not gonna be, and we all know we're gonna play it anyways. It's just
I want Kenny on the show more often for when we're playing really critically acclaimed games, just so he can just completely Debbie Downer the whole thing. It's like, well, I mean, the game is what it is, and we're gonna play it, but it could be more than what it is. But it is what it is.
And it's and I'm so tired of even saying this could have been so much better, because nobody cares anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what it could have been. So, I don't know.
All true statements.
Yes,
all true statements.
Guys, I think the Iron Lords have told us we have proven our worth here. Prove yours by commenting on the website and in the chat whether or not you are still playing Destiny and why. Really, that's what I want to hear is why. And you can do that on the website and all sorts of stuff like that. Guys, it has been a nerdy night. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, you can find us all over the internet. You can find Kenny over on Twitter at Sweet Baby Kenny. That's right, SBK at Sweet Baby Kenny. You can find Sam Chen pretty much everywhere on the internet as DJ Fluffkins. No, really, everywhere. We need to get that domain working for you, Sam. The DJ Fluffkins.
Someday.
For those porn sites. Just by a different name.
And a very special thanks to Mike DeMarco, who makes the show look as wonderful as it does. You can follow him on Twitter at Mike V. That's MAIKV. And you can follow me on Twitter at Be Ridiculous. That's BRIDDICKULOUS. You can follow everything Nerdy Nights related at nerdy_nights. And of course, by visiting our website, www.nkrn.org. Make sure to comment with your awesome comments on the blog post for the shows. And remember, Nerdy Nights Radio is live on Twitch and now YouTube Gaming as well every Monday evening at 7:30 Pacific Time. And you can be a part of the show by participating in the chat, just like Recruit always does, and Citizen PM always does. I think I saw Renegade Actor in there somewhere, and we've got we had a couple of newbies in the show. Jay's Move 420. Thank you, Jay, for joining the show. That was very, very fun. And that's
Ben is running out of things to say.
Sometimes I just lose my shit at the show and I just refine it, so I just start blabbing and blabbing. You can then find our show and split videos on YouTube at nerdynights.nkrn.org/YouTube, and the full episode on your favorite podcast subscription service. Make sure to go to the YouTube, subscribe, comment, and go to iTunes and review the show. Let us know what's good, what's great, what's terrible. Thanks again, everyone. It has been an excellent night, and I officially dubbed the Nerdy Knights of the round. Go out and defend the realm of the Nerdy Knights, and remember, until next week, it's dangerous to go alone.